Oh my God, oh my God, oh my holy God. Hi guys, Stephen I Ford from I Ford Fortune, creating fortune for the future. I want to share with this one of these secrets how to manifest or how to get the things you want in life. Around about 1990, or could have been later, I had a Ford Cortina. This is a picture, not of the actual car, but the same sort of model. It's a Ford Cortina. I had sitting outside my home that I was looking at repairing. It was a Ford Cortina station wagon. It was an old one. I don't think the motor was going at the time, but it was full of rust. Sitting outside my home doing nothing. And I loved cars. This is the time when I had my own passions to do cars up. And this Ford Cortina sat outside there, rusting away. And I'd used to come outside. And I'm sharing this with you as one of the power and the secrets how to get the things you want in life. So bear with me. Bear with me. This Cortina sat outside my home. And every night I'll just come home and just have a look at the car, stand by the side of it, for example. Having a look at it and mesmerize, what can I do with it? And the idea popped in my head and said, oh, okay, I can cut that. Say, cut the station wagon part, and of course the back seat, and turn it into an utility. Prior, I have already experienced what it's like to renovate a car or do a car up or cut a car up and just do it into something else. It was a Vauxhall Viva. This would be my first automotive project, I guess. It's around about a 1970 Vauxhall Viva 1200. It was a station wagon also. My father-in-law helped me bought this car with my wife around about 1980, I think it was. But anyway, I decided one point of time I was going to renovate this car. So my first initial point was to chop the back, raise the roof, and had an uprise with windows on top. Basically, it was just a totally different car. Then I also changed the 1200 engine into a Ford Cortina 2-liter motor, a strong gearbox, of course, and I also changed the diff to a Torana. That's a Holden Torana differential that helped it cope with the extra power. This is the only photo I have found of that particular renovation. One of my first projects, as you can see, I already chopped the back off, and I was just marking up all the new framework to build around it. All this window was all taken out, and it was all basically steel panel. But of course, this, as I said, this was my first project, which inspired me to look at cutting up Ford Cortina station wagon that was sitting outside of my house, which of course inspired the whole process. That I had, it was a station wagon also. I had chopped the back, raised the roof, and it did something radical to it. It didn't look like a Viva after I had done with it. I don't know if I got any pictures of it, but anyway, I did that. So I had a bit of an experience and a passion to do cars up. And at the same time, the Viva, I stuck a Ford Cortina motor in it, because the Viva already had about a 1200cc in it. Then I pumped in the 2-liter Ford Cortina motor in it, and that passion sort of continued after the Viva renovation to doing another car. And I think I sort of fell in love with the Ford Cortina motors. I have another story to tell that later on. But anyway, night after night, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just coming home from time to time and looking at this old car. Should I just dump the bloody thing, or should I chop it down? I did this for a few weeks without realizing what I was doing. Okay, I didn't realize what I was doing. At the same time, I was doing a Mazda. It was a Mazda 808. I'm in New Zealand. So if I speak of cars that you never heard of, don't worry. It's just a matter of you taking something that you like, mesmerize about it, and allow that power to come alive and make it a reality for you. So let's follow the story. While I was looking at this Ford Cortina to chop the back up to turn into a utility, I was also working on another car, a Mazda 808. I've done it up, gave it a good paint job and ready for sale, but it didn't sell, so I had it on the newspaper. what was called, I think at the time, Trade Me for swap or what have you. It was for sale first. It didn't sell, so I just wanted to swap for something. Anyway, at the same time, while I was advertising the 808, the Mazda 808 for sale, I was always looking at this particular, not particular Cortina, but this model to chop it down, chop the back, turn it into a new utility. Anyway, I had a call from a guy that he wanted to have a look at my 808 and he wanted to do a swap. And I said, okay, what have you got? And he said, he's got a Ford Cortina, a Ute. And I said, oh, okay. At the time, as I said, I didn't know what I was doing. I was mesmerizing about chopping the Ford Cortina into a Ute and at the same time trying to sell off another car. But the great secret, okay, this is the great secret of mesmerizing or visualizing or something you want to do. It literally comes alive to bring that reality to you. Okay, now while I was mesmerizing, looking over to doing this car, because I had already finished renovating and doing the 808 up, so it was up for sale. So I was looking at the next project, I guess. So this project, I didn't know how I was going to do it. I just looked at it and said, oh, that'd be nice, chop the back up, turn it into a utility. Because I've never seen a Ford Cortina utility. I think in South Africa they did have some, and in Australia, but I never saw one in New Zealand. Anyway, the guy, we made a deal with the guy who wanted to swap my 808 Mazda 808 for his Cortina Ute. I didn't realize at the time what was happening. But anyway, the guy drove home to my home to do the swap, or for us to have a look at anyway, if the swap was viable. Anyway, I was quite surprised. The guy drove up and this Ford Cortina Ute. Again, I didn't realize what was happening. But what I was mesmerizing to do to this old Ford Cortina sitting at the back of my house has just driven up in my driveway to be swapped with my 808, Mazda 808. It was only after I looked back at the situation years later and said, wow, I remember standing over an old Ford Cortina stage wagon and thinking of how I was going to turn it into a utility, and the power of visualization actually brought it to me. And that's the reality. I'm going to show you some pictures of that in a moment. That's the Ford Cortina I was looking at turning into a Ute. Anyway, this Ford Cortina came up my drive. We did that swap without any money exchange. He loved his 808, and I was just taken away by this Ford Cortina utility. Now, here are the pictures of the Ford Cortina utility I'm going to show you. That's the Ford Cortina. I think it was a later model one, taken by the size of the bumpers. I think it was the Australian or South African model. But the person who did the job did a fantastic job of turning the Ford Cortina into a utility. It was really remarkable workmanship. You wouldn't tell that it has been chopped, but they did a fantastic job. And this is the back of it, of course. And I did some modification to it. I gave it a paint job, a new coat of paint job, because I was doing a bit of work from home. And I think I swapped the tires to something a bit upmarketed, took the bumpers off, I think, just to give it a bit of style. And it looked quite nice. It was quite a unique vehicle, when you see it around, a Ford Cortina utility. It was a rare occasion to sort of see it around, as you can see. It gave it a bit of style just by removing the front bumper. Anyway, as the story continues, by visualizing of something you want to enjoy or have at your moment of time, it's the power. Use your mind, use your head to see something you like to do, and give it time. It will materialize as long as you don't give up that visualization or the view or what you want to dream of. And I'm sharing this, as I said, it did happen to me, and it was a miracle. I can only say thank God he must have read my mind and brought this to reality. Anyway, the Cortina was a beautiful car, and what I did with it, anyway, I took the Ford Cortina motor of a 2-liter, and I stuck a Mazda rotary motor in it. And it was just something I loved to do. And the Mazda rotary motor came from one of these vehicles that I was working with. It was a Mazda RX-7, I think it was. And that gave the car, or the utility anyway, a bit of extra oomph or style, if you wish. And it was quite remarkable. There was a head turn at the same token. I towed my boat with it, and it was quite a remarkable reality to what we can do as human beings. Just given the idea or the thoughts of using your mind to make something a reality. This actually happened to me, and all because of doing something that most people heard of, but they haven't really practiced it. But I'm sharing this with you, not just to inspire you, but to let you know that the power of your mind is extraordinary to turn something into reality. As I said, all I wanted to do was to turn an old Cortina, it was a rusty bucket, station wagon, into a utility. And not long after, the power of that reality drove up my driveway what I used to have. I sold it later on. Exactly what I wanted, a Ford Cortina utility. Yeah. To this day, I'm still kicking myself how that worked. So, in the same token, this is 2025, 25th of February 2025, of course, and I'm utilizing that power of our mind to get the next best thing that I can enjoy in my lifetime and pass on to my children. So it's important. Use your mind. Visualize what you want to see. And trust me, there is power within your head to turn something as a dream or visualization into reality. And this is a classic case of my very first visualization that came to reality. And I didn't even know it at the time that I have actually done so just by visualizing over an old Ford Cortina station wagon that I could cut it down and turn it into a utility, but of course, that power of visualization brought me the reality of what I wanted, which was, of course, a Ford Cortina utility. Noting also, the power of visualization also helps you bring you, this is the tremendous part of it, bring you the reality of what you want. Notice in the beginning I said I wanted to cut this old Ford Cortina into a utility wagon. The power of visualization, I didn't have to cut the car down myself. It was already done by somebody else, and all God and the universe did was bring it to me what I wanted to do with an old car. I could have easily done so, but I didn't have the tool or expertise at the time to turn it into something far more spectacular as the result that I got. And this is the beauty of visualization. It comes to you, the finished product. Sometimes you don't have to use your hands or do anything about it. And the great master of the universe called God brings the reality to us. And this is an example of it. All I wanted was to turn an old Cortina station wagon into a utility. God in the universe brings the rest to me. And that's a very powerful testimony that I want to share with you. So at the same token, my videos are really about creating fortunes for the future. So there will be links to great opportunities for you to try and build yourself great fortunes in the future, just using, again, the power of visualization, then activating, say, a fortune creating process or system, just probably like paying for superannuation and allowing that then to grow. Very similar. Below this video, there should be links to those websites that you can also join and build yourself a great fortunes in the future. It's also to do with how you visualize your future, that the outcome will also follow. But anyway, that's giving you some thought for 2025. Use your head. Use your head, and you'd be surprised. You might get a headache at times, but don't worry about it. That headache, it's only because your brain is getting stretched, just like your muscles. In time, your brain will get used to visualization and forcing your mind to do greater things that you can only dream about. But anyway, I don't want to ramble on, but do subscribe to my YouTube video. So if I make more of these videos in the future, you'll get a ping on your side just to give you some ideas what you can apply and practice in your lifetime and see what you can do with some of the ideas that I can share with you. Just like anybody else who share ideas. So for now, we love you. God loves you. Subscribe to my YouTube video, like my YouTube video, and we'll see you on my next video. We love you. God loves you. Bye for now.